Hey guys, this is on Productions, aka Nana4673, and I'm back in Skights. I just realized that there are a lot of echo in this room, and I also realized that there are two small, very attention-craving kitties following me everywhere, so give me a second. This is better. Yes, what happened last, this is Skights part 6 if I didn't say that. What happened last was that, Prince Lysander, the licorice prince, just drank something wine, bloody cherry wine that the Vanessa gave him. Oh yeah, I could remember. And that's where we are now. Lysander is looking not very pleased with it. Don't, please. He froze. Your Highness, is everything all right? The prince lowered at the gobble. His finger trembled lightly as they reached up towards his throat. He is not happy with that. The look in his eyes became very desperate, and he opened his lips like he wanted to say something. Something very important. Cut. No sooner did he lose his balance completely and he started falling. He struggled to find his footing. Then, with a deafening thud, the prince collapsed. Would you stop playing with my feet at the most important moment in the game, cats? Thank you. And everyone is dots. Oh god. The crowd roared into a panic. What's happening? His Highness! The guards rushed forward, pushing me away. One quickly dropped down to the prince's limp form, checking his pulse. He observed the prince carefully before making a diagnosis. The prince has been poisoned! An audible gasp echoed throughout the gardens. All eyes shifted on me. This can't be happening! Caesar! The royal guards surrounded me. They captured me and bound my arms tightly in their grasp. I was completely immobilized. It's the witch! She must have done it! The witch gave him the poison. We all saw it. No, I didn't. I'm innocent. Where should we take her? We'll torture her if we have to. No, I had to stop them. Wait, please, I'm innocent. My voice barely reached above the crowd. The guards started moving, taking me somewhere. I'll cheer out the prince! The royal guards stopped. They all waited for me to continue. Please, I'll find the cure. I can make an antidote. Is that what's antidote for the anecdote? Antidote? Whatever. For the prince of whatever poison he's been taking. Stop playing with my feet. I'm sorry. I made medicine and antidotes for many poisons in the past. I can cook one for the prince. Yeah, okay, words. It was a false promise, but it was all I had. Even the gods were doubtful of my proposition. Blah blah. How we'll know you're plotting to if you're plotting to poison His Highness again? I'll taste test everything the prince will eat and drink before he even touches them. My eyes held that promise, and the guards sensed. Oh, stop it! Sensed the absentee of my vow. But it was obvious they were unsure of whether or not I could do it. Either way, they had no choice. They had a choice. They could just torture her. But we will be patrolling throughout the town, and personal guards will be assigned to you, following your every step. If the prince dies before you find the cure, the king will have your head. And rest assured, we will find you. Let go of my feet. They released me. Stop! Both of you. I'm sorry. They released me, yeah. I was roughly dropped to the ground as the guards moved away, barely giving me enough space for me to stand. No, not that it mattered to anybody. The guards and the public were far more concerned over the prince's welfare, and their attention were completely engrossed on His Highness. The prince laid limp and cold on the vanilla cobblestone pavement. He wasn't going to last very long. I had to save him. We really have to. The streets were crowded. Everyone had departed the garden party, and the guards prowled all over the streets of Vanillaville for any more signs of trouble. We're really fucked, now that I think about it. We're really fucked. We really need to do good now. Everyone had I'm sorry, did I scare you, Yeeeah? I'm sorry. Everyone had departed the garden party, and the guards all prowled over the streets of Vanillaville for any more signs of trouble. With that alone, the town civilians were in panic. It was no wonder the atmosphere felt so uneasy. Guards lingered here and there, making sure nobody else could plot any schemes to otherwise harm His Highness, who was placed in the vacant room in the same building where I lived. Ironically, I was forbidden to go back into my own home now. That is, until I find the cure. Look, it's her! The witch! All eyes were on me as I passed. People weren't afraid to shout their disapproval in the streets. I need to find her voice again. I really can't remember. Words probably gotten out by now, and the whole town knew of the prince's poisoning. She must have done it. Have you seen what she did to those poor girls yesterday? Oh, sweet mother of the fairies. It was hard to believe that all this was happening. Am I really going to wake up from this nightmare? What do I do now? Nursing the prince won't do shit. We'll investigate. Night had come. With the park gardens empty, it was easy to roam around searching for evidence and clues. Where else did the... I could have sworn the prince had collapsed on this very spot, except now it had been cleared of any sign of something. Where did the poisoned goblet disappear to? Was this déjà vu? I have to hide it, sweet sugar fairy, I have to hide it. A steward from today's garden reception was hiding behind a willow tree. No, not any steward. I recognized him conversing with Colin earlier. Hey, you! Oh, it was Colin! Ah! I had something, that was the thing. Oh, Colin, I never trusted him. The steward jolted hearing my voice. When he saw me, he tried to run, but I closed in on him, cornering him in the bushes. What's that in your hand? This is nothing. He concealed an empty glass of sorts behind his cloak, along with a very tiny blue veil. Open your cloak. Sorry, it's a private personal possession. I really can't show you. My hand whipped out, jerking my little wife knife up to his throat. Open your cloak. Okay. He revealed the glass goblet and blue veil from beneath. It was the same identical goblet from the garden party. The same one that poisoned the prince. Why do you have that? I don't know. You poisoned the prince? No, I didn't. I swear it. His eyes darted above. I was distracted, eyeing the goblet of blue vial. If that's really some personal, private object of yours, I suggest you... He jerked the tree carefully from above, and bushels of tiny leaves and branches fell down in front of my face. Hey! The steward was making his getaway. Stop! I lunged forward, toppling into him, and we both fell over. He dropped the glass goblet and the blue vial, and I caught both just in time. Now free, the steward scrambled up, making his escape. Darn it! He was gone. Looking down at my two hands, the two glass objects gleamed in the moonlight. They felt delicate and frail, to the point that they might shatter if I held them any longer than I had to. Huh? The blue vial looked familiar. Not the object itself, but the substance. It looked like a rare kind of berry nectar found in the southern colonies of Yeeeah. What was something so exotic doing in a place like this? No, this isn't poisonous. I remember when Colin and I were little, I took a sip of the berry nectar behind the nursery maid's back. For the rest of the day, I wasn't allowed to go to the kitchens as punishment. The nursery maid said something very important about not drinking something for the rest of the day until the nectar wore off. Because I was so young, I would most likely not be drinking it. What is something only adults would drink and not children? It took me a moment to think through all the possibilities. Alcohol, obviously. Then it hit home. Alcohol. There you go. Of course, you aren't really the sharpest knife in the... What does that say in English? I don't know. Of course, somebody must have slipped this berry nectar into his drink earlier, and uh, whichever wine the prince would drink afterwards would be poison to him. It would be a perfect way to frame somebody, which would mean that hadn't Colin been conversing with that steward and said something about? No, it couldn't be. I quickly dismissed the idea. Well, it's probably Colin. I've known Colin all my life. He would never do something like this. He would. He's evil. Colin wouldn't frame me. I was his childhood companion. The assassin must be someone else. Someone who could gain something from the prince's life. Except who was it? But now wasn't the time for petty false accusations. I needed to make an anecdote, quick. But by the time the nectar wears off, the alcoholic poison still lingers in his system, won't be able to stay dormant without the nectar already seeped into his system, which means the prince will die tonight. My heart stopped. With no time to lose, I rushed out of the garden. We're so fucked. My breath was running out fast. The only anecdote I could think of was a simple nectar reliever that would substitute the nectar in his system, giving the prince more time to bear the poison. It was the only way he could wear off the alcohol, and it was the only possible cure. Thank the fairies I had an extra bottle. I have to hurry. I sprinted towards the building. Please, open the door! I have the cure! I knocked on the door frantically. Hopefully there was still enough time left. Have you found it? Yes, please open up! The guard grunted, jerking the door ajar. I rushed inside, heading towards the prince's bedside. Oh damn, it's not now that you need to go out of battery. Blech. He was lying motionless on the small beige mattress, breathing in racked breaths. Give me a second. Yeah. Oh, sweet prince, I'll save you. No, I don't want to go to photo booth. What the fuck? Okay. Drink it first. I tipped my small bottle of berry reliever to my lips, taking a sip. See, it's not poisonous. The guard reluctantly let me continue. Sitting myself down beside him, I reached for his slim form. Carefully, I inclined the bottle to the prince's lips. A few droplets leaked out, dripping into his mouth. And then I waited, anticipating for any sign of the prince's normal breathing again. The prince continued to breathe in wrecked breaths. Nothing was happening. No! I poured a few more droplets into his mouth. Nothing. No, it can't be! It was too late. The berry nectar must have worn out. The prince will surely die in a few minutes or less. Nothing can save him now. No! Tears streamed down my face. My trembling fingers reached over to his hand. He was so cold and numb. Oh shit, have I done something wrong? Should I have checked on him? Nothing could be done. Even my tears couldn't save the prince from the horrible death that would soon befall him. Please, somebody save him. Please. I was praying to no one. I knew that. But in the back of my mind, I felt the faintest whisper of a celestial voice. I couldn't hear the exact words, but it felt like she was assuring me that everything would be okay. Then suddenly, a burst of magical light appeared. There you go, magic. I needed you. It expanded throughout the whole room, emanating from my chest where I placed my knife. The light stretched throughout the vicinity of the room, searching for something. Then it reached the prince. Almost immediately, the magic flew into a frenzy, engulfing the prince in its magic illumination. The prince was bathed in its wonder as it seeped into his cold, lifeless body. At last it began to dissipate. Flashing one last time, the miraculous light released the prince. It lifted into the air, floating away, before it finally into my chest, disappearing inside me. I could feel the little knife pulse beneath my clothing as the light finally faded. Look, the prince! His eyes were opening. The prince's face went back to its healthy grey face. I have to end the episode here. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!